Hey folks, so this is assignment 3. This is the last thing we are doing in class. Congratulations that you've gotten this far. I'm so proud of you. You have all been doing so excellent this semester. I really do mean that. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward. You've done the research for your paper in assignment 2, right? And so now all that's left is for you to write an analysis of whichever animated film that you've chosen to analyze. And I want you to write a 2-page single-spaced analysis that's not including the reference page. You do need to include at least 3 sources from your annotated bibliography. If something changes and you want to add in another source, you can totally do that too. All right, so just sort of keep that in mind. I know sometimes research changes a tiny bit. And then you obviously need to use APA formatting for your in-text citations and for generating your reference page, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention to the passage here in the assignment that I've highlighted. What I want you to keep in mind is that an analysis is not a summary. So when you're writing this, I want you to pretend or to assume that your peer has already watched this film, but maybe they're a little fuzzy on it, okay? So you're not supposed to be just summarizing what happened. That's actually not an analysis. Remember, a key learning outcome of this particular unit is to help you understand the difference between summarizing something and analyzing it, right? So the key here is to tell us why something that happened in the film matters, right? Like what we might have missed, right? And why it's so incredible, or why it's maybe a little bit disappointing, right? And it's also not a film review, so it's not like, oh, I didn't like this part, right? So it has to be consequential, the things that you're saying, right? Keep in mind, the theme of this class in terms of children's pop culture, right, is that children's and young adult culture is a mirror for adult values, right? It tells us who we are. So who are we? What does this particular film tell us in terms of a snapshot about who we are, the best of us, or things maybe we need to improve, right? And why does that matter, right? And why might this storytelling make a difference for good or ill in people's lives, right? And then how do the films do that, right? So through dialogue, through illustration, through the animation process itself, right? Using the Blazer book, through the plot, right? Through music, through using silence, right? Or through narrative structure, through world building, all of these things, right? So keep that in mind, right? This unit is supposed to help you really think about, if I'm supposed to write an analysis, what does an analysis mean? So keep this in mind, that this assignment is a vehicle for future you when you have to write another analysis, so that you know what you're looking for, all right? The next thing is make sure that you're choosing a film that you actually are geeked out to talk about, all right? And related to that, I really also want you to be yourself in your writing. I think a lot of times we erroneously think that we have to sound clunky and fancy when we write, and I'm really hoping that so far in this class that you've learned that it is possible to be accessible and entertaining and smart and academic at the same time. That is what makes a good academic writer, okay? So I want you to bring your whole self to this, right? Allow your personality to shine through in your analysis. And the other thing too is that if you're not sure where to begin, I really do suggest that you watch the film with a friend and just have conversations about it. Sometimes when I'm stuck, I will, have a conversation with a friend, and I'll have that friend just kind of record me on my phone or their phone, and just kind of record the things that I say, because sometimes we actually know what we want to say, but we're having writer's block in terms of getting it down on paper. So I promise you that that helps a lot, okay? So this assignment is worth 25 points. 5 of those points are going to be earned for peer review, and then the other 20 points are going to be based upon the quality of the draft that you submit for assignment 3, okay? And then you're going to see the assignment due dates right here, okay? Yeah, and so this is pretty straightforward, friends. You are really equipped to do this, and yeah, you got this. All right.